The abandoned construction site stood as a testament to shattered dreams and unfulfilled ambitions. Cranes reached toward the sky like skeletal hands, their rusted frames a stark contrast to the empty horizon. Among the overgrown weeds and broken machinery, the site exuded an eerie aura, a place where time had halted, leaving behind only echoes of desolation. A group of urban explorers had ventured into the site, drawn by its history and the promise of a spine-chilling adventure. Mark, Sarah, Alex, and Lisa were united by their curiosity and a shared fascination with the macabre. Armed with flashlights and adrenaline, they stepped into the heart of the construction site, oblivious to the horrors that awaited them. As the explorers ventured deeper, the air grew heavy with an oppressive silence. The site seemed to pulse with an unnatural energy, and shadows danced along the edges of their vision. Whispers, soft and indistinct, carried on the wind, sending shivers down their spines. Sarah's flashlight flickered, casting a fleeting beam of light on a half-finished building. The structure loomed like a forgotten relic, its windows shattered, and its walls marked by graffiti. Lisa's voice trembled as she captured the eerie scene on her camera, her excitement tinged with a growing unease. As they explored further, the group stumbled upon an underground tunnel entrance. The tunnel's gaping maw seemed to beckon them with an air of foreboding, yet they couldn't resist the allure of uncovering hidden secrets. With a shared glance, they ventured into the darkness, their footsteps echoing along the cold, damp corridor. As they moved deeper into the tunnel, the whispers grew louder, their words distorted and incomprehensible. Mark's flashlight beam revealed a series of faded photographs on the tunnel walls. Images of construction workers, their faces marked by exhaustion and determination. But there was something unsettling about their gazes, as if they were trapped between worlds, forever frozen in time. The tunnel led them to an underground chamber, its walls adorned with arcane symbols and fading murals. The air grew colder, and the whispers seemed to coalesce into a chorus of voices that reverberated through the chamber. Sarah's heart raced as she realized that they were not alone. A presence lingered in the shadows, a malevolent force that seemed to feed on their fear. A sudden draft blew out their flashlights, plunging them into darkness. Panic gripped the group as they fumbled to relight their flashlights, their trembling hands revealing the depth of their terror. The whispers seemed to close in, their words growing clearer, a haunting incantation that spoke of sacrifice and the thirst for power. As the flashlights flickered back to life, the explorers found themselves surrounded by a circle of spectral figures. The construction workers from the photographs stood before them, their eyes empty voids that seemed to pierce through the darkness. The chamber itself seemed to warp and shift, its walls pulsating with an otherworldly energy. The group backed against the chamber wall, their fear reaching a fever pitch. The spectral figures moved with an unnatural grace, their movements synchronized as if part of a sinister ritual. A chilling voice, disembodied yet commanding, echoed through the chamber, a voice that seemed to resonate within their very bones. Time seemed to blur as the explorers made their decision. With the ancient book as their guide, they enacted the ritual, their voices carrying the weight of a desperate hope. The chamber trembled as energy crackled through the air, the spectral figures writhing in anguish. The chamber's walls began to crumble, its foundation shaking as if the very fabric of reality was tearing apart. The explorers knew that their sacrifice was the only way to break the curse, to save themselves and the trapped souls from an eternity of torment. With determination fueling their actions, the explorers scoured the chamber for clues. Sarah stumbled upon an ancient book, its pages filled with incantations and rituals. It spoke of a ritual that could sever the connection between the spectral figures and the construction site, but its execution came with a heavy price. The explorers faced a moral dilemma. To break the cycle and free the trapped souls, they would have to offer their own lives as the final sacrifice. As they debated their options, the chamber grew colder, the spectral figures closing in with a sense of urgency. Time seemed to blur as the explorers made their decision. With the ancient book as their guide, they enacted the ritual, their voices carrying the weight of a desperate hope. The chamber trembled as energy crackled through the air, the spectral figures writhing in anguish. The chamber's walls began to crumble, its foundation shaking as if the very fabric of reality was tearing apart. The explorers knew that their sacrifice was the only way to break the curse, to save themselves and the trapped souls from an eternity of torment. As the ritual reached its climax, the chamber's walls disintegrated in a blinding burst of light. The explorers felt their bodies disperse like smoke, their essence merging with the energy that had been unleashed. The construction site trembled, its haunting aura dissipating into the wind. When the light faded, the construction site lay in ruins, the remnants of the past erased by the force of the ritual. The spectral figures had vanished, their chains broken by the sacrifice of the explorers. The air was still, a heavy silence replacing the whispers and the malevolent energy. In the aftermath, the construction site became a place of renewed hope and transformation. The ruins were cleared, and the land was repurposed for a memorial, a place to honor the lives that had been lost, and to remember the courage of those who had faced the unknown. The urban explorer's sacrifice became a legend, a tale passed down through generations, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of selflessness. And though the construction site was forever changed, its echoes of desolation had been replaced by echoes of redemption, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, light could ultimately prevail.